All right, there we go. Okay. Had to make sure I had my mic on, this time and whatnot. So this one is a little bit different of a live stream. And that's more so because it has to do with, brother Rizza Islam, right? And I'm probably a little bit late, to the party when it comes to, hearing the story and, different things of that nature. Yo, what is up? What is up, Outlaw? What is going on? What is going on? And the main thing that I would sit up there and well, I got you after this, because I'm just going to try to make this as as short as possible and whatnot. So I woke up and I got on the computer and I ended up going through a few videos. Originally today, a video that I was going to do was congratulating Rizza Islam, who was one of the brothers who is a part of the Nation of Islam, who has been doing a lot of hard work and dedication, going all over the United States, educating people on a variety of topics that, people need to be educated on. And he was, of course, he is for his people, educating his people, pushing for his people. But within that, he is also, pushing for educating other people, right? And it's like seeing the brother through all of the years, all of the greatness, the potential and everything that he has, done, seeing him basically, in a sense, rise to the occasion. And now hearing of the accusations that he is now facing from supposedly, his fiance. And the main thing that I would sit up there and tell people is that no one at all, even online, has the full-fledged story except for the two people that are directly involved, in the situation. The leaked audio, which I was able to hear, which nobody should be able to hear. From my understanding, it came from a private internal conversation that was happening in between Farrakhan and other individuals that were in the upper ranks, talking about, the allegations and so on. And it was like hearing everything. It's like, it's weird. It's like when you have somebody that you, in a sense, believe in and have so much faith in, and then you see out of all of the time, everything was completely fine and dandy. Hey, what's up, Miss Terry? What's going on? After, everything has pretty much been going, fine and dandy for the longest time possible. It's like then something like this hits, and that's when it's like I have to just sit back and just question stuff. And I have to question the timing and how everything transpires. A lot of other people probably wouldn't, right? They'll just be like, oh, well, sitting back in the cut, they're like, oh, well, I knew it was, something up with that person, yada, 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 and all this other type of stuff, when realistically, you don't know nothing. You were just waiting for something to, in a sense, be said or listed to try to validate why it is that you have the feelings that you have about, said person. And it's like, man, like nobody online has any type of actual real information. The conversation that was had was never supposed to be leaked. We weren't even supposed to know anything about it, but somebody, it's internally in the Nation of Islam, decided to leak that conversation. And the main thing that people have to question is, why is it that somebody would decide to leak that audio, which is supposed to be private audio, for the few that were there to basically hear what was being stated? People have to question why it is, what was was the reason to potentially try to put a mark on Rizza Islam and the amount of hard work and dedication that he has put in. Was it supposed to try to bring him down? Is it supposed to destroy him so he can basically stop what it is that he has been doing for oh so long? Like, what is the actual purpose of bringing out that audio, right? And the main thing that I would tell people is that the judgments that you may have, wait until all the information is directly out there. Wait for both parties to specifically say something, because I can already see how other individuals out there are going to try to validate everything here, because they're going to try to say that, oh, well, I know somebody that went through this, or I went through this, so I know it has to be true. You always have to believe whatever, somebody else basically says. And this is the problem. Nobody ever wants to believe the victim. Everybody wants to do this and that and da 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 da. But it's like, it comes to a point in time where the timing of everything seems very, very odd. Very, very odd. Because the moment in time that, from everything that I've understood and been able to see about Rizza Islam, he is a very private guy, right? I didn't even know that the brother even, had somebody that, he was pursuing for the longest time. And that, he finally, was like, hey, let me, he made a video about it, and he was like, she don't even know, right? He took, his fiance on a helicopter ride and all of this, nice stuff. They flew over the city and saw stuff. And then when they got to dinner, the brother sat up there and he proposed to her. And I'm like, that brought like a tear to my eye, because I'm like, finally, I'm like, this dude did all of this hard work for about, 20 plus years. And he found somebody, you know, that's going to, be with him, that's going to be able to support him, that's going to back him up, somebody that, he can actually like, come to. And then supernaturally, when that happens, when he finally, in a sense, lets that guard down as a man, this is when all of this takes place. And I'm like, the timing is very odd to me. Out of all the time that Rizza Islam has been going all over the United States, talking to tons of people, doing all of these conferences, doing all of these speeches, being around all of these people, you mean to tell me nobody, it was nothing, like zero happenings of anything. But the moment in time that a brother finds true happiness, he's ready to settle down, he's ready to continue on his legacy, this is the moment in time that everything basically hits. I'm like, that timing is very, very odd to me. And I sat there and, I listened to like a few videos and, and different things like that. And it's mostly coming, from like the guys and stuff that are, covering the story. The thing I'm waiting on is to see the certain few that are directly out there that will try to use this as some type of validation in order to state why it is that black men are the way that they are, and how black men are this and black men are, like I said, I'm pretty sure somebody in the back is trying to cook up a script or a template, and they're going to create a large live stream or videos or a series of videos directly after this, and they're going to try to go through a lot of different videos to try to showcase like, oh, see, it was something right here and it was something right there, and there was always like somebody mentioning something in these different things and yada yada yada. And the main thing that I'm trying to tell people is that be very careful of the information that is placed directly out there, because we don't specifically know why it is that information is placed the way that it is. Like I said, we got brother Rizza Islam more than any of the ordinary brothers that are directly out here, right? Like for me, I got a platform, right? But nowhere in any shape or form am I doing the same amount of work or spending the same amount of time as Brother Rizza Islam as he has done for 20 plus years, right? That dude has rose to the occasion of being a leader. He has done the necessary footwork, grassroots. He has amassed the necessary amount of information in order to intelligently have conversations and debates with a variety of people, coming from lawyers to doctors, basically you name it. He has had conversations with individuals and held them accountable and listed the very tough questions. And all of a sudden, like I said, all of a sudden, after all the work that he has done, he finally found happiness. This is basically what is happening. And they supposedly stated that allegedly the reason the person who is blaming him is his fiance. And I'm like, I'm a little bit confused directly on that. I'm like, so you mean to tell me that the moment in time that the brother decided to settle down with the person and he found happiness, the same exact person that he found that happiness with and was going to continue the rest of his life with, is the same person that is quote unquote accusing him? I'm highly baffled and confused. I'm very much highly baffled and confused on the timing and how it is that all of this took place. Because this didn't happen during the courtship or anything like that. Like I said, I don't know how much validity or truth there is to the accusations to begin with, or who it is that specifically put the accusations to the forefront. The main thing that I do know is that the audio is directly out there, and you hear the Honorable Minister Louis Farrakhan talking about you know what the in general, the thing that transpired, not getting into details or anything like that, but talking about the situation in both parties. You have a lot of people in a sense saying that the audio is fake, it doesn't sound like the honorable minister, and so on and so on and so on. And like I said, people just have to question a lot of information. um for me, I was not even sure if I was even going to say anything about it because, like I said, I don't have the full information. I don't know both parties. I don't know the intricate details or who started what or how did everything come about or none of that. But the main thing that I'm stating is that at any point in time that we have a black man that is amassing a following, and it's a natural following. He didn't pay for the following. He's doing this by the dedication, the hard work, and due diligence, that he's walking in. And people around him see the value and the wealth and the knowledge. They see the strength and how tall he stands. They see what he stands for. They see what he's talking about. They see how he's educating black people amongst, on top of that, other ethnicities as well. And when you have a black man that can draw so much attention, we have a black man that can do this and he's not paid for it. He's not, in a sense, handled, and he is for his own people. That becomes a problem. It's the same exact thing where I have a video talking about a lot of the advertisements that have been showing up in frequency, where this is still dealing with the same topic, but slightly going to something else in a sense. So this is like in a sense showing the fear of a black man, or specifically what can transpire with the love of black people. You can see this when it deals with advertisements, where they have had a magical increase or ramping up of a lot of advertisements showing black men with everybody else but black women. And you've been seeing a ramping up of advertisements of Black women with everybody else but Black men. And like I said earlier, with the information that you are giving, you have to question why it is that people are trying to put this out. You have to question why it is that businesses are putting this out. You have to question why it is that advertisers are spending hundreds of thousands of dollars, if not millions of dollars, to put these commercials together and to place them there, showcasing Black people not even being with themselves. And you have to realize that we are at a point as Black people where the things that we go through in the Black community are out there. And the advertisers, the million dollar, billion dollar corporations, in some instances, $1 trillion corporations know and understand this. And they know how much attention Black people basically draw. And they know how to basically keep certain things going. So they know that if they have Black women that have issues with Black men, and all of these other videos that have been coming out, and they start seeing commercials with Black men with everybody else but them, they're going to internalize that. And then they're going to blame all the other Black men for the reason that these commercials are basically showing up. Because what? They're going to be like, hey, well, Black men are deciding to date everybody but us, and it's showing in the commercials. And that's not how it works. Just like when it's vice versa, when it's Black women being shown dating everybody else but Black men, that's not how it works. And the thing that I'm saying with the same thing with Rizza Islam is the fact that whenever you have a moment in a time that you got a very strong Black man, a masculine Black man who is able to lead, he's able to talk, he's able to walk, he's able to defend against the enemies that are going to come up against him and challenge him, that's a problem. And then when you got that same man deciding that he is going to now find happiness and settle down with an individual, and that is a Black woman, that's a problem. Because the main thing that the media and others do not want to showcase is Black people being in love. They don't want to showcase Black love at all, because Black love is a threat to society and to the others that subscribe to that same society. And it's a lot more manageable if you have a Black man who has some type of power who is with a woman of another race, because they're going to look at it as like, okay, well, he's conditioned, he's more controllable, he's more docile, he's not, we can mold him, we can tempt him, we can do this, we can do that. It's like we can see something that we can do here. But when you have a Black man that is with a Black woman that is on the exact same page, they can't sit up there and do any type of temptation. They can't try to persuade him into doing anything else. They can't try to barter with him to, hey, we're going to give you this, and all you got to say is this, 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 and this, and, not do this. And, this is when a lot of people happen to say when it comes to men, a man's greatest weakness is a woman. And, it's tough because, you have men out here that want to be able to find happiness. They want to be able to get married. And, like I said, I don't know what's going to transpire with this story. I'm not sure how anything is going to happen, how anything is going to work out. But it's it's just a very crazy thing that something like this is taking place and transpiring. And I wish that this was not even like a story. Like I said, I would rather be doing other stuff right now. But it was like it's like when you hear the audio of Minister Farrakhan talking, it's like it just depends on if you've been following somebody for, like a long time, and you're technically in a sense invested due to the fact of, what it is that they have done, what it is that they have shown, the actions that are taken, because actions speak louder than words, right? Because when you have somebody as strong as Brother Rizza Islam, right? And you have this man going up against the government, you have him continuously calling them out. And you can see what happens when he talks the way that he does. This is when they want to start deleting his platform. Like, he's been deleted off of Twitter. He's been deleted off of IG. He's been, I think, also deleted off of Facebook, and also deleted off of YouTube. And all of these platforms, like I said, you'll see how a lot of platforms, even though they are different, they are all in cahoots with one another. Because it's very odd that all of the platforms would decide that, hey, yeah, we're going to get rid of this person. Yeah, we're going to have, yeah, we're not going to keep him here either. But all of these corporations are supposed to be separate and different, but they're not. Because somehow, some way, if one corporation like YouTube finds somebody as a threat, magically all the rest of them will more than likely figure or find that person as a threat as well. And like I said, you got to question a lot of stuff. You got to question the timing of a lot of things. You like I said, people just have to question a lot of stuff. You can't always believe 100% of the things that you see, because, yes, they'll put like some truth directly out there, but it'll be amongst a bunch of lies. So again, I can't sit up there and say what is, in a sense, true or not. I'm just sitting up there telling people that, you should, in a sense, hold judgments up until both parties decide to speak. The main people that are a part of the situation, when those people basically speak and you can hear both sides, that's when, everybody can come up to a judgment call on what's what and everything else. But as I stated, you more than likely are going to have some women out there that are going to try to use their own personal experiences or the experiences of other women in order to try to validate what it is that is said allegedly to have taken place dealing with the accusations against Brother Rizza Islam. And the main thing that I state is that is very wrong to do, because just because one person had a very horrible and negative interaction in life does not mean that that is what's going on in a whole nother circumstance. Because I have covered a variety of stories where Black men have been accused and it was found that it was false. It was found to be untrue with all the evidence. But yet people wanted to still demonize the brothers and still say, oh, well, this, that, and the third. Or, well, they might not have done it here, but they'll probably do it somewhere. Like, they'll do stuff like that, which is crazy to me. Even if you are, as a Black man, proven to be innocent, you will still have those out there that will try to find or say that you are guilty for something. Maybe not now, but you'll be guilty for something later. And the main thing I'm trying to, also tell people is that you might be watching like a modern day version, of a lynching, in a sense, being realistic, by way of social media. Because as I stated, the conversation, if you happen to have interest and you want to go look up the conversation for yourself, the conversation should never have been broadcasted on social media. I shouldn't even know anything about the conversation. Other people on YouTube shouldn't even know anything about the conversation at all. But somebody specifically in the Nation of Islam decided to leak that audio. And they had an intent. They had a reason behind it. That's all I'm saying. People need to hold judgments up until all the information, like wait up until, like, if everything is true the way that people say it, let a court let an open court, in a sense, happen. Let's move it to that arena, because now people actually got to showcase proof. Now people actually got to bring forth evidence. Now everybody that's a part of something, now everybody has to show up and show their face. And now, everything is going to be, put out there on the table, and you can start to really critique and question a lot of things because you can see everything for what it is. At this point in time, we can't see anything for what it is, because all it is, even with the video, everybody is still in the dark and all we hear is voices. Imagine being in a dark circular room that's endless. You don't know what's up, what's down, what's left, what's right, but all you hear is voices all around you. How are you going to be able to navigate that if everything sounds like it's coming from the same direction? No matter what direction you turn, the sound is the same. So how are you going to navigate that? And that's the way that I feel about the audio and listening to the Honorable Minister Farrakhan speak on the accusations against Brother Rizza Islam. Like I said, it's in a sense very I guess you could say hurtful, in a sense, because it's like watching a great black man that you have, in a sense, grown up with, in a sense, and you've seen the footwork and everything that he's done, and then this is something here that is magically shown up to, in a sense, tarnish or to throw all of that work to the wayside. Because as I look at it now, this is usually what happens. Imagine if Brother Rizza Islam was, speaking in front of a large crowd, and he's giving, all of this information, about the government that people need to hear, right? And then you'll have somebody raise up from the crowd and they'll be like, yeah, we don't really care about that information. We care about the accusations. What do you have to say about what you're being accused of? Speak on that. That's how people will sit up there and start to derail the conversation and to, start trying to put stuff in other places. Because originally, whenever Brother Rizza Islam, when he talks, people can't deflect away from the truth that he's speaking. But you give people one thing that they can actually use, that's what they're going to do to derail the conversation every single time, no matter, what it is that is, in a sense, taking place. And that is, 100% ridiculous. But like I said before, this is something that I really feel that can very possibly take place if he is to have public speaking engagements. And like I said, I don't know. I don't know how the brother is going to navigate these things. I'm not sure how he's going to try to talk about these things, because I'm pretty sure that, it's tough. It would be tough to even start on something like that, because this is something that no man wants to ever at all deal with, at all. And this is a scary thing to sit up there and deal with as well, because, just even off of an accusation, they can sit up there and just end everything, anything that you built. Like I said before, you've had guys who are in college sports who were with a person, and magically when the person, gets caught with the black guy, then they want to switch up and they want to start saying something else. And you have certain instances where you have brothers sitting up there facing life in prison because of fabricated details that transpired, and due to the fact that people decided to believe the fabricated details. So, too black for you. What is up? What is up? What is up? What's up, Tippy? Dr. Storch said that leak sounds like an agent capping for massa, and that's when you need to keep your third eye open. Yeah, what's up, Lion? Yeah, it's like it's something. Like it really is something. I'm just looking at the possibilities and the potentialities, directly out there, and how it is that, these things can, potentially be used to derail every single conversation. Like I said, you'll have people try to do this, just like Peter. Like back in the 90s, Peter was notorious for showing up to certain engagements and stuff like that. And as soon as somebody will start talking, they'll derail the whole conversation and draw attention away from that. And they'll start, saying what, oh, you're an animal killer, you're this, you're that, you're wearing fur and all this other stuff. They'll start doing stuff like that. Even if somebody is speaking on a topic that is very much important that people need to hear, that's what they will do in order to cause chaos, in order to insert those seeds of chaos, to distract people from what it is that they need to know. So this is why, yet again, I'm just, saying, that people need to be very cautious and tread lightly, when it comes to information like this, and how it is that it is specifically put out and given and distributed to people. Because like I said, you got to always wonder about the intent and the purpose, when it comes to these things. And, at that moment in time, that's something, realistically that, none of us, exactly know. Like I said, I would love to know the person who leaked the audio and the information about the brother. I would love to know that. I would love to see that person's face. I would love to know the intent of why it is that they did it. I find it highly amazing that that's what they decided. That's very interesting. Okay. It's very, very interesting. But like I said, it's it's crazy out here. People just need to question a lot of things and not always believe everything for face value, especially when you have brothers out here that are the ones who are in leadership positions, and they're the ones that are being attacked. You always got to question. Just like I tell y'all on a lot of the videos, you got to question a lot of the information that is given, the reason why the information is being placed, directly out there, and the intent behind the information being put out there. Just like with branding, when it deals with black men all being criminals and all these other types of things, who's putting that information out there? Who's putting those titles directly out there? Who's using that branding? Who's making money off of that branding? So once you link everything together, you realize how people are able to profit off of certain things and the reasons why people are, saying the things that they are saying. But anyways, I said I was going to keep this short. I was talking for about 30 minutes or whatever. So, I'm probably just gonna end it there, and I'll probably come back to this, later on once, things, more information comes out, that's 100% that people can actually look at and decide to break down, versus just a few minutes of audio that is directly out there that nobody knows the truth of anything. But anyways, thanks for y'all listening to me ramble and and all of that good stuff. But yeah, we will now continue with your everyday scheduled program. Peace.